welcome back to Cross Stitch the Globe. I'm Stephanie.
I'm Allison.
And this is a channel about cross stitch. This is Flosstube number 19.
Wow, okay. Didn't know that.
We're very excited to be here. We have 3 kinds of videos on our channel. Today's episode is a Flosstube episode, which is a deep dive into our personal stitching and actually what most of you guys come for. We also, in between, so those come out every other Monday. In between, we do extras, which are deep dives into different topics like how to make a needle minder, or we're about to start, which is very exciting, a free pattern series that Allison is like, no, we are starting.
We're doing it. Time.
And then another extra that's coming up faster than you can even believe it is going to be our whip parade. Yay. Which we've decided to break up into 2 parts. So, and then on Thursdays, we come out with short beginner tutorials. They're mostly for people, well, the reason we're doing them is for people who buy from our Etsy shop. But we love when experienced stitchers watch them and give their own tips and background and feedback on the videos and make the comments really helpful too. And if you found our channel through one of those videos and you're like, what is Flosstube? This is crazy. Buckle up.
Yeah. We're going to keep this one as short as possible.
They already know an answer we don't know, which is were we able to accomplish
Were we able to accomplish it?
So basically, we're coming out a day late, which you guys know.
I know.
Because Allison got to go on a fun work/personal trip last week. And so we are filming a day late. So Allison had to go to work all day. I started with carpool and then worked and then kids and then carpool. And so we're both like very frazzled. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Yeah.
All right. So we like to start with thanking people that mentioned us on their channel. This could be that they recommended people watch us or a specific video, or just that they said we enabled them or inspired them, just something where they like really interacted with us.
But in a good way.
And yeah. Sometimes. They're like, one person's like, I'm now cross-stitching because of you. Thanks. No, it was in a good way. So first of all, Becca Ann Creates, who she started Cathedral Woods Goddess. A lot of people are starting Cathedral Woods. I feel like there's a bunch of us starting Cathedral Woods Goddess right now. The friends that I have that we already had planned to do it. And then a few other people said that they were like, oh yeah, I think it's time to start it, because we've had that conversation about how you think there's no Mirabilia for you until you find out there's a Mirabilia for you, because there's so many, 200 of them. Yeah. So you might not be safe even if you think you're safe. Yeah. And I think Cathedral Woods Goddess is that for a lot of people, because it's such a different one. So I'll show my start on that later. Salty Stitcher, who had mentioned us before, she was talking in her most recent one about our process versus project stitcher video, which filming that video was really good for me.
Yeah,
and figuring out how cross stitch fits into my life and stuff. And it helped me figure out I'm not going to continue working on one of my projects right now. I need a break from it, which we'll talk about later. Okay. And then Crafting on the Plains, Jacinta, who is one of our Oklahoma friends. Yeah. She was making needle minders, and she said our video on how to take the pins off came out right after. And she really wished that had come out right before. Any video I mention, or any Flosstube or anything I mention, pattern, will all be in the description. Our descriptions are very long. So we talk fast, but if you're like, oh, I missed that, it's probably in the description. Wildberry Quilting was talking about our most expensive patterns video, and was wondering if there was something similar in the quilting world, but because of how quilts are, patterns are made and handed out and stuff. She's like, I'm gonna research it, and if there is a most expensive quilts pattern, I'm gonna do a video on it. But she doesn't know if there will be, because it's a very different thing. But she also cross stitches. I think she makes project bags. Oh, okay. I think that's where I'd heard of her channel before, so I went ahead and subscribed, because she does quilting videos, which I would love to be a quilter, but I'm not diving into the heavy end of quilting right now. I would like to have a room in my house to sew. That would be nice. Yeah. I think she also does Flosstube episodes, so I'm excited to watch those. And then Beck Spin, who used to be Whisker City Stitcher, changed to Beck Spin, was talking about our channel, and I forgot to write down in what context, but we have talked about her channel before. She runs estate sales, and she does crafty stuff, and she does Flosstube episodes. But if you she's participating in Mirabilia May right now, so go check her out if you haven't checked her out before. But if you're I know who Whisker City Stitchers is, she's now Beck Spin. Hoop It Up with Jan. Yeah. Our friend Jan.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, go watch Jan.
Go watch Jan.
So we probably haven't we talk about her every video, but we probably haven't explained why you guys should care about Jan in a while, because we're just like, oh, that's our friend Jan. Jan Holder, she lives in Texas. She's been a stitcher for decades, and she stitches everything. So she stitches Mirabilias and fancy samplers and cutesy stuff, and she has a wall of positivity that she's creating, and she's down to try anything. Like she's got 56 count and 14 count. Like, so she does everything. So if you want to see what an expert stitcher who goes to all kinds of retreats and classes, but manages to still love the whole breadth of cross stitching, what she's stitching on, and like, go check her out, especially if you like dimensions kits. She's got some dimensions kits that are hard to find.
Yeah.
Flossie Sews and Grows, Sally, she lives in North Wales. She said that she's been watching her, like she'd watched her eBay tips video and stuff, but she mentioned us specifically because you were on a Zoom with her.
Oh.
And you had to get off because of the tornado.
Oh, yeah. That happened.
So she did say, like, she'd watch some of our videos, but also she thought that was quite amusing.
Yeah.
Once, we're safe.
I was safe. It was okay. But actually, the town I was living in, Yukon, got hit last night.
Oh, no. Yeah. Well, my husband was in the basement, or they had to shelter in place last night at work.
Oh, they did?
Our husbands work at the same place. Yeah. And my husband, but they work totally different schedules. Yeah. And now your husband doesn't actually work on the premises anymore all the time. Will he all the time?
All the time right now.
Okay. So my husband called me and was like, is there a tornado coming? I was like, I'm just seeing thunderstorm warnings. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, we've been in shelter in place for an hour. But he lives far enough away from he worked far enough away from where we live that it wasn't like I had missed being in danger. It just didn't come by us, but it was in the south side.
It was El Reno down to Yukon, and then I think it skipped Oklahoma City, went to
But where it was like, where they thought it was going to be was like the south side and then out to Tinker Air Force Base. Yeah. And so we were fine, but he was like, are you okay? That was an interesting call. It's like, next time if they tell you to shelter in place, maybe check with us at the beginning of that experience if you have signal. Yeah. It has been a very active tornado season, so we're a little more on edge than I think a normal year.
Yeah.
Rose Crafty Corner mentioned us, and she actually was inspired to either start or pick up one of her Cinderella WIPs. But I don't think it's a true Cinderella. I think it's like they call it Cinderella, but I don't know if that's the name of the pattern. Oh, but because of you.
That's wonderful.
I
want to spread that
your
love
Cinderella
everywhere.
Specific influence is spread far and wide.
That's great.
And she's in Australia. She said she caught up on all of our floss tubes.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't know if that meant all the videos, because we have this will be video 49.
Is it really?
Because we put out those tutorials every week.
Which are short little.
Yes. And then we have another, so we're doing 2 videos a week, so they add up really fast. But it's not like 2 of these every week.
No.
But still.
That would kill us.
I could honestly, I could talk to you.
You could talk, yeah. No.
All right.
Call me maybe, but.
Create with Tess. Create with Tess. She said she came back to cross stitch because of one of our videos was on her homepage. Because one of our videos started getting fed to non-cross stitchers, people who just who just like our most expensive patterns video. Started getting fed to some people that were not cross stitch people, and I know because they'd be like, I don't even cross stitch, but this video was interesting in the comments. So she watched it and realized that, because she had cross stitched once upon a time, but then didn't really, and realized that her mom had bought one of the most expensive kits, and but after her mom passed, she donated it to a Goodwill, and she was like, it'd be really nice to have. She was never gonna stitch that one. But she's like, it's really nice to have that kit right now.
Really good. Yeah. Well, maybe you'll find it at a Goodwill.
But she was like, I hope whoever took it to do a good home. And she is just starting out, but she's kind of like me in terms of she's just starting out, but she already owns 30 Mirabilia patterns. Okay. She's very into the Queen, the Mirabilia Queens. And she's like, listen, I'm going to it's just X's. I'm just going to start and do these 1 X at a time, which I think is so cool, because a lot of people who can stitch giant hands across the sea samplers are still a little intimidated by some of the Mirabilia things. It's so many different things that we don't do in every. Yeah. So I thought that was really cool. That's cool. Then Allie Renee's Copious Spare Time. Okay, first of all, I thought it was Julian Stitches 16 when the video came on, because she's also from Wisconsin. Oh. And it's very similar voices. And she is a professional costume designer and professor of, I don't know if she said what she's a professor of, but I assume in the costume design or historic space. But so she has all of these other fiber art skills, and she's like, so I'm just gonna also cross stitch.
Nice.
So she's like, I had a little DMT like hanging around from like embroidering costume stuff.
Yeah.
But she's like started collecting thrift. Like I was so impressed. Now she said she doesn't know how much time she'll have. So what I would say is if you're interested in that, go subscribe to her channel right now, and then I bet she'll be one of those channels that we're all very excited when a video comes out, but it won't be like us where it's like every other Monday, like
forever.
Like it'll be like when she has the time, and that will be so exciting.
That's special, yeah.
So I will list all of those channels. Thank you guys so much for mentioning us. Oh, we enabled one of her patterns, basically. I don't remember which one.
Oh, okay.
But I think it was a tiny modernist, but I'm not sure which one.
Good choice.
So, love hearing from new people, love hearing that we like inspire new people, love hearing people say like things we're doing are helpful, that, you know, like makes it so fun to sit here and do this. But also I still feel like I'm just talking to you in a room. So
start talking.
It's funny that other people hear it. Like ever. All right, so congratulations. This is when we like to congratulate people in the fiber arts community for things they are celebrating. Not things that I'm like going and finding, but like they are celebrating themselves, and we're like, that's so exciting, let's celebrate you too. So first of all, the Sassy Southern Stitchers hit 3,000 subscribers.
What?
Now Lisa has a birthday coming up, or had one, and she has a birthday SAL that's like very chill, but it's like stitched on a Blackbird, but I don't know what the exact day is. So I'll pull out my Strawberry Fields.
We'll consult Salix and
yeah.
Aaron,
well, it's not on there. It's
Mermaid.
because it's like a very chill, like just like
too chill for an Instagram.
That's
too chill.
It doesn't have a hashtag or anything, but she's just like, pull out your Blackbirds, but I don't know the day, so I don't know if I missed it. But if I didn't miss it, I'll be pulling out Strawberry Fields Forever on that day.
Yeah, I've got my Eleanor Rigby I could stitch on. That'd be nice.
Jen from Jen's Fiber Wed hit 1,000 subscribers.
Congratulations!
So exciting.
That's wonderful.
And if you're not watching Jen, just go watch Jen. She just did a really good finished parade that was really cool. Stitch Bead, Audrey, your girl.
I love her.
Hit 1 year on Flosstube, which is so cool. Congratulations.
Cool. I love watching her stuff. It is nothing like I would ever stitch myself, and I'm so like fascinated when she talks about
Allison's always like, did you watch Audrey?
Yeah, did you watch it?
Did you watch it yet? Did you watch it? I'm like, not yet.
It's so good. It's so good.
The Soul Stitchers, your cross stitch wife.
My BFF. Yep.
Cross stitch couture, Fanny, and I can never pronounce Marianne's cross stitch. It's like Marianne de Petitcroix or something.
I think it just means
Marianne's cross stitch, like, but
it's in French.
But
their Flosstube is in English.
And their Flosstube just hit 500 subscribers, which is so exciting. Woo-hoo! Snickerdoodle Stitch celebrated a Flosstube University. Wildcat Stitch hit 500 subscribers. And I said that without saying and, because I have nobody next to say it. So now I'm in a weird cadence. But yay, congratulations.
Yay.
All right, and then a couple birthdays in the community. Katie the Peacock Stitcher.
Happy birthday.
And you know what? That little minx. We were going to start Cathedral Woods Goddess. And she's like, what day do you want to start it? And I was like, May 6th or 7th. Do you have a preference? And she's like, I can do either. I was like, okay, let's just do May 7th. That was her birthday. She did not tell. I was like, should I know that this is like your birthday start? Did you tell me that? I knew she was a Taurus because she's stitching Mirabilia Taurus. Or, I don't know if it's Nora, Corbett, or Mirabilia, but I think she's stitching one or she bought it. But in my head, I knew she was a Taurus. But I was like, she's like, no, I didn't tell you. And it's a good day to start a Mirabilia. Your birthday is a great day to start a Mirabilia.
That's a wonderful day.
So, happy birthday, Katie.
Happy birthday.
Allie Z from Allie Z is Crafty, who her birthday is a different day, so this didn't happen, but coincidentally also started Cathedral Woods Goddess with me on May 7th. But her birthday was like a few days ago. And then Janet Japper. So, happy birthday! All right, Allison, let's dive into our stitching.
Okay.
Do you have any fully finished objects or FFOs?
I do. And I've had it for a few weeks and I forgot to show it. So, this is a late entry, but it's ready. Ooh. This is Red Bubble Cat. It's a December Stitches pattern, and I love it. I made it into this little Christmas tree ornament.
Oh, your circles are so good. But you showed us last time the tool that you got.
I have a tool now.
I do think your cat got to. The cat.
It's very hairy. Is it hairy?
I don't know if it's very hairy or if it's just like I've seen your cat out my eyes, so I'm thinking of that he got to it. But it's so good.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun to make. I'm going to start making a lot more FFO.
I brought my 5 completed ornaments over so she could practice. Because as we all know, I'm a process stitcher.
Yeah.
And so I like if something like they're good to practice on because if you mess one up, I'm not going to be upset.
Okay.
I finished it.
What if I just stitch it again and give it back to you?
I think I would notice because your stitching's better than mine. Also, that's not a very specific fabric. I
don't have the pattern.
You actually do have that fabric. Though,
I do have the fabric.
Because I gave you
that's
that
what
fabric.
I was thinking.
No, you bought that fabric for me, so you have the fabric. But anyway, so look forward to more ornaments.
Yes,
FFOs in the future.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Congratulations. Oh, December Stitches. They're an Etsy shop, an Instagram account. She does lives. I think it's 2 people that run it, right?
Simone and
I think that 2 people run it together, but they're hosting a SAL in July called the Love and Joy in July SAL. It's basically a Christmas in July SAL for this cute little dog pattern.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do a different pattern of theirs that I want to start a little bit more because I got a few patterns. But if you're like thinking of Christmas in July, but you want to do something kind of funky and fun, they're like their shop is good. They also have like some really cool nutcrackers.
Show the Love and Joy one here because it's really cute. That's the one I'm doing.
And I have it. It's really cute. I just really want to do this other one more. And I know I'm not going to stitch 2 of them this year.
Yeah.
Like
too much.
Yeah. So I'm going to do a lot of Christmas in July stitching. So.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited.
Because I got to do some stockings. All right.
Okay. Do you have any FFOs?
I do. I have 2. So I'm going to show you my normal FFO first, and then I'm going to show you my sneak peek FFO second. So this is Yellow Submarine by Blackbird Designs. You guys have seen this a lot because it's part of the Fab 4 fan sal that I'm posting with Julian Stitches 16. But I found this frame at a local charity shop, and it was listed at $8, but the glass was broken, and so they gave it to me for $4, and they didn't even know I didn't care about that, and I was going to throw away the glass anyway. And then I decided because of this like bottom border that I didn't want to deal with getting it straight. So I took it to a framer and they framed it for $23 since I brought the frame in myself.
That is quite a deal.
So the whole framing thing was $27.08.
Nice. It looks so good. This is the perfect frame.
I would have thought that frame was so trashy if it was something else, but for this piece, it's like so perfect.
It goes wonderful.
Yeah, it's just like the seaweed and the... But I love it. So this is stitched with the called for threads on 28 count, the Stitch Me Through the Stones. And I saved the other half of this piece for Octopus's Garden. Yay. But they're not going to match because I'm not going to be able to find that exact frame again. But the fun of doing the thrift store frames on most of my pieces is that since none of them will match, they will all match. Yeah. Like, because they'll all be weird.
It'll all be good.
But I'm so happy with it.
Nice.
And we're moving this summer, so I think I am gonna go ahead and hang it up, even though it's funny to be like, I'm gonna hang it up for 2 months.
I'll just hang it up.
But this is the one I started because my son loves Yellow Submarine, and he absolutely does not care about this. So I'm really glad I went ahead and finished it and got it framed and everything. Yeah. And it's like, it's for me too, the memories of him or whatever, of us singing this song together and stuff. But it is so funny because it's like last year was his favorite song, and now he's like, okay. But he does know to say when I show him stitching, he does know to say, "That's so cool, Mom," with like a dead eye. Like, I'll say what you want me to say. Can I have a soda, Mom? Basically, this is a 4-year-old. All right,
he's doing his best.
I mean, he knows how to play me. Let's just put it that way. And then I have one more FFO. Yay. So this is a sneak peek. I mean, you guys saw it in the thumbnail, but you probably didn't know what it is. So I haven't officially named this pattern yet, but for my top secret project that I told you guys I've been like working on models for, and Allison's working on a model for me, and one of our friends finished a model that I'll show you guys when the whole booklet gets released. So basically I'm working on a booklet of multiple patterns that all follow the same theme, but they're not all of the same place, and they don't all have the same colors, so a lot of them have similar colors. But they all have one theme, and I'm not going to tell you guys what the theme is until our next Flosstube when it's ready, hopefully. And if the next Flosstube is late, it's because I'm still working on it. But I thought I'd show you guys a sneak peek of one of the models. So this pattern doesn't have a name yet because I don't want to name it until I'm like cool with you guys knowing what the theme is. Like I can't tell, but I have it. It's not like I have the name. I have it. Yeah. But it's Skogafoss waterfall in Iceland is what the place is. And the pattern is 6x4 if you stitch it on 16 count and 6,144 stitches.
That's so good. Oh, it's
so it looks good. You know, it looks so good in the camera. Like these look good in person, but in the camera it looks like it's still a photo.
Yeah, it really looks great.
So if you haven't been here before and for some reason you're like, what is she talking about? I'm a travel writer and photographer is like my main job. And I started cross stitch with the idea that, well, I started designing cross stitch patterns from my professional travel photography first, and then got obsessed with cross stitch and Flosstubes second. So you might be like, why? We never see your patterns. Like you're stitching Blackbirds. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah. It's like, because this is actually what I'm supposed to be doing with all my time, but I got kind of sucked into all this other stuff. So, but I'm really excited about the booklet that I'm putting out. Like, I don't know exactly. I know it will be available digitally. I don't know yet if I'll be able to have like a paper copy yet. I think I might eventually, but it might not be available right away. I'll know more next time we talk. But it's gonna have multiple patterns. The final number depends on how fast I stitch over the next 2 weeks, because I don't want to release anything that's this small that doesn't have a model. There will be bigger patterns in it too that don't need models. It will have some that are like 8x10s that don't need model stitches, because you can just tell by like once you take out some of the stuff that you're good. But yeah, this is Skogafoss in Iceland. Yeah. Oh, it looks so good in the camera. It does look so good. And for the FFO, this is a frame I got in a shell shop in Texas for $6 a few years ago. That I just thought kind of went well with it. Yeah. I've been collecting thrift store frames for this project, but this, I just thought that was like a good, deep, rich color to bring out the blue and the greens. But look at the water.
I know.
And the way that, like, when you turn a photo and, like, you know, if you turn a photo into, like, a hay that's, like, 12 feet wide, it's really, you can make it really clear, right? Mm-hmm. But when you turn it into something this little, if you're new to the channel, you get more of an impressionistic version of it, because you're reducing it from 1,000 of colors to this has 44 colors, and you're reducing it to 6,000 pixels instead of 20. The original photo is 20 gigabytes. Yeah. So, it looks like an impressionist painting, but I have a bunch of these on my wall now, and they're so fun to look at, like, from across the room, like, because they look, you've been in my apartment, they look good.
They do.
But when you're stitching it, I'll show you guys, I'll show you one of the models I'm working on, because you cannot tell what it is. If you stitch it, especially if you decide to color complete, it may not look like anything until very close to the end. I don't think you could tell what that is. Like, I am halfway done with this one. Yeah. It is going faster since I switched to the gridded 16 count. I do really like that. And this one is an especially crazy one in terms of, like, you will not be able to tell what this is until it, like, really comes together. Yeah. But, and then I was teasing Thread Gremlins because they had a conversation on their last Flosstube about how clean back should be. Right. And for full coverage, when you can't see the back through it, like, that's what my back looks like. Yeah. I will, because I'm just color completing. I also sometimes do I used to do the typewriter method more on this. Now I'm doing more color completion because I got inspired by someone that I'll talk about when we release it. But, so it makes it a lot easier because you have a lot of ninja stitches, but in an area this small, you can pretty much travel anywhere. Mm-hmm. Like, so the back looks crazy, but when you're done with it, you cannot tell at all, so it doesn't bother me at all. Thanks. I have so much floss in this bag because it says all the floss for this and 2 more. Like, I'm hoping to definitely get 1 more done, but if I could get 2 more done, that would be great. All right, so those are my FFOs. Yay. And this is a sneak peek. I will post this on my Instagram too if you want to see a picture of it. I'll post it like after this video comes out sometime. Yeah. All right, Allison, did you have any new starts?
I did.
Wait. Did you have any finishes that weren't fully finished objects?
Oh, no, I did not.
I didn't either.
No, okay.
Did you have any new starts?
Yes, I did. And it is in honor of Mirabilia May.
Oh, Mirabilia May. We're loving Mirabilia May.
Okay, so for Mirabilia May, I started Me a Mermaid.
Oh, the fabric is so good. Is this from Katie?
Yes, it's a Digi-stitch?
Yeah, it's printed.
Yeah, it's printed on there.
So the fabric on the back is white and the front has color.
I know. Isn't that the perfect color for a mermaid?
Yeah, it's really good.
It's really fun. So, this is 16 count? No. 18 karat? No.
I don't know.
Hold on.
I think it's 16, but.
I think I wrote it down, but there's a good chance I didn't. Nope, I didn't. Sorry.
I think it's 16.
It might be 16. Yeah, I think it's 16.
If it's 18, I don't look at 18 count very much though. So.
Well, I'm just using the DMC, and it called for some fancy floss that I just changed to more DMC of colors.
Does it have Cardic in it?
It's supposed to, but I'm changing that to DMC metallics.
Oh, okay.
So that I don't have to buy anything. And it also has beads, and I'm switching those to the beads I already have too. So
well, it's a free pattern.
This is a free pattern from Stash for fun.
For May.
For May. A free pattern. It's keeping it in my Golden Familiars travel case.
Oh, she got the fancy one.
She got the fancy case. So I just, oh, that's right. Instead of Krynic, I'm using satin. I'm using DMC satin.
And wait, did you say you didn't?
Which I really hate. Yeah, I've already had to pull it all out because it looks.
You know what's
fuzzy.
funny? We didn't even add satin to our types of
cross
stitch floss
you don't
video.
want to use that. Look at that.
Like, and I didn't even think about it because I've never considered actually stitching it with it, even though I know there are people that like some kits and stuff. But
well, if anyone has a trick on how you stitch with it, because like feel it. How do you?
It doesn't feel weird, but it looks terrible. Like
it feels.
This looks terrible.
Yeah.
The ends look terrible.
It frays like so bad. So yeah, that's what
Is it in here? No.
No, I had to take it out already because it frayed.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I am using. I don't know if I'll continue to use it.
I have a lot of gray, silver, silk if you want to just pick one out, yeah.
All right, I might do that. But I thought it'd be cool to have a silver necklace. And it calls for like some kind of silver chrono, and I don't want to buy that.
And also, a pretty gray silver DMC would look good too.
Fine. Yeah, would look fine.
Because it's so funny, like DMC really looks like what you. It's very like there are some colors where you put it in one pattern, it looks brown. You put it in another pattern, it looks gold. It really has to do with like what your expectations of it are and what's around it.
Yeah.
Well, that's really cool.
Yeah, thanks. So there's me, a mermaid. I'm having a lot of fun with that one. I'm feeling a lot of pressure to finish. Lady of the Flag though. So I haven't picked it up that often.
Because you put a lot of pressure on yourself.
On myself, absolutely, on myself. But that's why she's not further done.
And you just started it, so it's not like finish it anytime soon.
No. So that was my start. Do you have any starts?
I do. So I have 3 starts. In addition, that model I showed you guys was a start where we don't count. I stopped counting my own like projects as part of like Flosstube stuff. So I started 2 Mirabilias for May because this month I'm starting 3. So I was like, okay, I have to start 2 these 2 weeks, and then I'm going to start 1. Actually, I'm starting 1 on Tuesday. So this, which you cannot tell anything about it, is Adia the Garden Fairy, which looks like this. This is an out of print Mirabilia, unfortunately, but it's not like one that goes for like crazy prices all the time. I actually like saw a second copy of it on sale on eBay for so cheap that I was like, well, I basically have to buy that, like because it was that and it was this and Titanium Queen of the Fairies for $26 total, and Titanium Queen of the Fairies is like a $15 pattern that's still in print right now. So it was like, well, I basically have to buy these. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I'm sure I'll gift them to someone or something like, but I was like, I need to own these. And it mailed from Oklahoma City.
Oh, really?
So like, anyway, so, this is an out of print Mirabilia. I'm stitching it on Garden Party, which is a 28 count Garden Party by Stitch Me. And I placed her so that her feet would be in the like greener side, because once you're framing it, you're going to lose a lot of the green edge, right? So I wanted to make sure it at least had some green.
Yeah.
And okay, so I started 2 Mirabilias in the last 2 weeks, and there's different places to start them and different theories about how to start them. Sometimes I start them based on like where I needed to be on the fabric, needed to be dead center. So I started the 2 this week in the middle of the fabric because the fabric for both of them are like similar, like tells a story about. So one went really well, and this one I felt kind of dizzy and kept making insane mistakes and had to frog multiple times. So it goes to show you, like, sometimes your brain is not working, because I started 2 very similar Mirabilias in very similar ways, like on very similar fabrics, different color palettes, but still like one night my brain worked and I was like, oh, this 500 stitches flew by. And this took me like 3 nights to do 150 stitches like added. It was crazy.
Huh.
But, so a lot of this is just the yellow and white and the dress. And then I'm not super worried. It's not super like visible right now, but I'm not really worried long term because the yellows get darker as you go out because in the middle it's like the light is shining. It's the lightest part of the dress. And then this is like the very bottom of the tip of the wing. And I was just excited to stitch a little bit of this blue. So I was like, yes, I'm going to do some blue. Because this isn't going to be one I'm going to be working on a lot. Like I'll probably pull her out a couple times a year, depending on like, I was thinking maybe next year I would do a Mirabilia WIP go.
Oh yeah.
Because that might get me more excited than the WIP, like just
regular WIP.
But I got like messed up so many times. I did fix all of, I had 3 distinct errors. 2, I was able to fudge where like I stitched enough around the fudging that it's not gonna mess me up next time. And 1 had to be frogged and redone in order to fix it. And then there were a few other times I caught myself making mistakes and had to frog, but like, wasn't like I figured out what the mistake was later. It was like I saw the mistake as I was going.
Yeah.
But I love this pattern. I'm like obsessed with the fairies because I'm stitching Fairy Flora. And I really like her. And then I really love Cottage Garden Fairy, which I own, but I'm not stitching yet. And then we gave away a copy of Titania, but I was like, you know what? If I'm going to buy, like, I'll be able to sell the second copy of Adia for the total price of the bundle and keep Titania. I was like, maybe I should just have her. Because I also have Midsummer Night's Fairy, and I want to get Shakespeare Fairies. If I am, like, 75 years old with, like, a wall of just fairies, like...
Yeah, you don't seem the fairy type.
I'm not, but I was in Midsummer Night's Dream in high school, and I love that play. And like, they're actually Shakespeare in the Park is gonna do Midsummer Night's Dream, but only for like 1 week, and I really want to go. But it's like the first week of June, but we should try to go. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's one of my starts. For both my starts, I did about 500 stitches on my Mirabilia starts because my goal for every Mirabilia. If you didn't see our Mirabilia May WIP parade, Mirabilia WIP parade and plans, my goal for this year, my goal for May was to touch my 6 Mira and Nora Corbett WIPs and to start 3 new ones and to get 500 stitches in each of them because I didn't really have, it'd be great to do 1,000 in each, but I wasn't gonna have that much time with all of the model stitching. Yeah. She moved into this
very cute
pink tea party bag that was holding a kit for one of my own models, and I decided to pull it out because I'm not going to start that one anytime soon. So I was like, I'm just going to move her in. And she doesn't have that much floss. So even though I was told myself, like, I don't really have time to organize floss for these projects and to save that for later, I did go ahead and get her floss strapped out. Look, isn't that like color palette so good?
Really pretty.
So.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Yeah. I really should just.
Only do mirrors.
Not only, but I should like. How do you say no to any of your WIPs though? We're gonna have this next month when we film our WIP parade, which we're gonna film our WIP parade very like. Our WIP parade is coming out like June 10th, so we're filming it relatively soon, and the first half of it will come out then. And it's gonna be a situation where like, oh, I love that WIP. Oh, I love that WIP. And it's not even looking at the kits that I have. Yeah. So, this is by Lake House Stitch Co.
Very cute.
Who has, I bought it on Etsy, but she also has a Facebook group. All right, my second one, which I've talked about many times in this episode already, is Cathedral Woods Goddess.
I love this one.
She looks like this.
So pretty.
This is on Enchanted Forest by Stitch Me. It's 28 count linen. Yeah, she's just a doll. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like there's something about this didn't trip me up at all. The other one tripped me up. Maybe it really was just the colors.
It's probably because it was light on light.
Who knows?
It's hard.
And that one will get darker. But like I did not sit there and organize the floss. It's just a bag of floss. I will organize the floss next time. Oh, I was stitching this one on a 6-inch princess, and this one has. The other thing is this one has. I love an oval hoop. My brain organizes around an oval hoop in a totally different way. Yeah. But this Duchess hoop lives in this bird bag by a bag maker who doesn't make bags anymore, but I love this bag. And I just thought it was so perfect for a Cathedral Woods Goddess. Mm-hmm. And the Salty Stitcher posted a video that I haven't watched yet because she has 2 floss tubes up. I've watched both of those, but I haven't watched this of this extra that she did, which was called My First Mirabilia. So she's been stitching for like decades. Like, I think she's younger than us, but she's been stitching for like a very long time. And she's going to record extras that are like her first time doing stuff. And I thought that would be really interesting to watch as like, what is the perspective of someone who's been stitching for a long time, is not afraid of stitching, knows all this stuff, but like just discovered Mirabilia and was like tackling a project like that for the first time. It's going to be very different than me, where I was starting some of these like within 4 months of starting stitching, you know? So, but that video I think will be really good. So, and then, Ali Z just started her. I don't know if Ali Z is going to record a Flosstube soon, but I hope she does. Katie the Peacock Stitcher will be showing her. Yeah, she's just a popular lady right now. I have one more start. So Jim she's from Oklahoma. I always blank because she has a different Instagram name than her Flosstube name. I think it's Stitch and Jim is her Flosstube babe, and she's like Jay Hudson on Instagram. Right. So she is hosting the Stitch Along #Market Mania, where you like start all the things you bought at Market this year, which is like, if you don't know, Nashville Market is like a huge show where people put out a lot of their new patterns for the year. Not the only new patterns they'll do, but like some like have a bunch of specific releases for Market. And I didn't buy a bunch, but I was like, I have one, so I'll start that one. And so this is They Come at Night, which is by Fox and Rabbit. The call for fabric is this really beautiful black that by Fox and Rabbit, but they were sold out. And I was also like, I need to stitch this from stash. So I bought the floss for it because it's all DMC. So I bought the colors, but I was like, I need to. And I had this. This
is beautiful.
Barnwood by Picture This Plus, I think. I actually bought it to stitch Dark Golden Delicious by the Artsy Housewife, and realized I was not going to start that right anytime soon, because even though I have all the floss for it and I had I had the kit for it, I have 3 other Artsy Housewives on the go. Yeah. And so it's like, I need to finish some of those before I'm going to start this. But I measured it, and if I stitch both, I'll have 1.5 inch margins on the top and bottom for both pieces. And I'm like, I can deal with that.
Is that what you did?
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm just going to stitch They Come at Night up here, and then I'll stitch, when I get to the bottom, I'll cut it. Yeah. And I just have to cut it really carefully. Really carefully. And then when I start Dark Golden Delicious, I need to start in the center. But yeah.
Very cool. Let me get as close to
I'm just in this white border, but it went really fast. It's really pretty. I mean, the pattern's really pretty. It's going to take me a long time because it is a bigger pattern than you would think it is. But cool thing about the border, they don't meet up. Oh. So like the butterflies come in the mid, or I think they're actually moths. I think they're Luna moths, come out in between the borders. So you can be a little bit messed up on your border and no one's going to notice. And to me, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that from Fox and Rabbit.
That's fun.
And I love Fox and Rabbit fabric, so not stitching it on Fox and Rabbit, it does feel a little bit like a missed opportunity, but whenever you can stitch something from stash, it always feels good. So
that's why you're stash, right?
So that was my third, my #Market Mania start. I don't know how, I don't think I'm gonna be able to. I wanted originally to do 400 stitches in it to start, and I did about 200, but I just don't think I have time the rest of this month to do anything but model stitching and do the Mira, like my last 3 Miras, and I think that's like it. And I think that will still be hard. So I probably won't get any more work on this month, but I really am loving it. And it lives in my other Lake House Stitch Co. So I bought these 2 Lake House Stitch Co. bags, and then I kitted them up with projects I like really wanted to start. And then both of those projects got backburnered, so I never brought these bags in. I mean, I think this was in my planning video. Oh, yeah. But that one might not have been because it was like one of my own models, and I didn't bring a lot of those, but I think it's
really pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, so. All right, Allison, those are my new starts. Nice. Now, do you have any WIPs, Sissy?
I have 1 WIP. That's it.
Well, you have 2, you just can't show one of them.
Okay, that's not, I have 2 WIPs. Do you want to talk about the one we can't show?
So the first WIP we're going to talk about is a secret. And we can't tell you anything about notes. The Hathaway Stitchers are hosting the #Secret SAL, Secret Stitch Along. Yeah. They picked out this really cool pattern. It's called Garden of Zig. It's right here. It's by Ink Circles. And the way the SAL works is it was March through the end of this month, and it has 5 colors. Everybody needed to pick their own colors. You could do anything you wanted, but you couldn't do the called for. So like you could even take those 5 down to like be monochrome, I guess, if you wanted, but you can't do the called for.
Right.
And you can't do the called for fabric either. So you can do it on any fabric you want, everything from plain white to banana oil, but you can't tell anyone.
And yeah, that's the hard part.
So originally we were supposed to have our stuff done by the end of the month because we are going to have a Zoom to reveal on June 1st. And you were on, there was a stitch along Zoom yesterday.
Yeah, we had a Zoom yesterday.
That I couldn't go on last minute. But
they were probably like, why is she not talking? So I was half asleep.
My son got invited to like a last minute birthday party. And so I was at a pool with my feet in the water, not swimming because I was like the mom trying to make sure that my kid doesn't drown at the birthday party. Super fun. It was fun. I love taking my son to things. It was very fun, but it was not what I thought I was going to originally be doing.
Yeah.
Now, how is your progress coming along?
I'm at, I can tell you because I actually redid this one. 66.8%.
Ooh. How much do you think you're
gonna finish?
Not gonna finish.
Not gonna finish.
So here's on their last Flosstube, the Hathaway teachers kindly said like, you don't have to finish.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for me, that
was it.
Broke my brain. And I was like, okay, well then I can't stitch on this right now because I have so many other things to do. So I'm gonna try to finish the top row.
Yeah.
Which I have one more flower left, so I'm gonna try to finish the top row, but that might not get done. Because what I also, in our process versus project stitcher, I have these models that have a due date, and that is kind of, I'm a process stitcher, and these models are kind of taking up all of the like decision fatigue that I have for, and like willpower I have for being a project stitcher with a deadline. And then Mirabilia May doesn't feel like a deadline on the project, but I do want to touch all my mirrors in Mirabilia May.
Yeah.
And that means like, that's like a lot of stitching. And there's not a lot left. After that, little bits of things here and there, like little starts, but like, I just was like, I needed 5,000 stitches this month on that project. And I was just like, it just kept not getting priority. And it's like, well, now if I can't finish, I'm not close to finish it. So I think I'm just gonna try to finish the row.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't want to call it finished because I do really like it, but I'm not enjoying forcing myself to stitch all the same things every day, all the time. I really am looking forward to when this month is over, having some like of my other WIPs back in my life. That is why there's a couple other things I've worked on just because I can't only stitch full coverage models and Mirabilias, even though like those are wonderful things to stitch.
Yeah.
So I think what I'm gonna do is try to finish the row, but not even give myself a hard time if I don't, because I think the colors I picked are beautiful, and I think the fabric I picked is beautiful, and I think I've done enough where you can see what the impact of it is.
Can you?
But I would say I will enjoy the piece more if I put it away and in 3 months pick it up, you know, and then finish it in a year or two, than I will forcing myself to finish, which I can't even now, but like, or calling it done at the end of the top row. When really, I like the whole pattern. I just don't want to stitch it all in it. Well, and I don't want to stitch 7,000 of anything in a 3 month period, like of anything. And I have to do my own models if I ever want them to be out as patterns.
Yeah.
So that's what I am just,
So you are planning on finishing, just not now.
It will stay in my WIP pile. And I'm trying to keep my WIPs under 50 so it's like, I am saying like, okay, well if that stays in my WIP pile, that's going to put other things off, but I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Because I do really like it.
I love it.
But I don't want to stitch anything. I don't want to stitch a single thing that fast. If I thought from the beginning, like, oh, what 2,000 stitches of this could I do where it feels like a finish, I probably would have done like part of like each column. Like I probably would have like just squared it up or something.
Yeah.
And honestly, at the end of the row would feel like a finished piece, but I want something bigger than that. So and I think the middle is really interesting in terms of what it does for the colors and stuff, but I'm just such a process stitcher. It's like,
well, I'm gonna finish it. It's just not now.
I was talking to Marissa today. She's like, you have a lot of WIPs. I'm like, I shouldn't have this many WIPs. I couldn't continue with, I can't just focus on one thing. I don't like it. When I don't focus on one thing, then I get so excited when I pick up the thing I don't want to, like, if I don't want to stitch on it now, I'll want to stitch on it tomorrow. I need the, so And even my models, it's like they're all different, but they're all like, because I know how they're connected, and to me they're one project. They don't feel like different pieces. So anyway, that's Garden of Zeg.
That's Garden of Zeg.
I'm excited to show. So on our next Flosstube, we'll be able to show you guys because the reveal will have happened already. You'll be able to see all our choices. I just am not going to have it as a finish.
Mine will be close, but probably not.
Yeah, but you're not going to call it done.
I'm not going to call it done. I want to finish it. I really like the pattern.
And you can show you the original when you started too, because I think that would be pretty.
The sad part is, I think if I hadn't restarted, I probably would be done.
But that's okay. Better to have a piece you like. It's fine. I also thought like I needed a present for my son's teacher, and I was going to stitch or something, and then didn't because I had all this other stuff on my plate. I was like, this would be really pretty as like a preschool teacher picture, like, because it's like, you know, a garden, and I could put like a cute quote.
Yeah.
I'm like, then I have to finish it and get it framed by Wednesday, which is my son's last day of school. I'm like, well, that's not happening.
No, probably not.
All right.
Maybe a small, maybe stitch or something small.
No, not bad.
Or like one of the cat tins.
I'm full, like I have no extra. Like I'm at the point now where it's like, today I was like stitching while I was watching Molly.
Yeah.
I was like, I've now got to the point where like anything that's fill in on a project gets put aside to stitch while my kids are like doing like mostly self-contained things.
Yeah.
To squeeze out as much extra time as I can.
Okay.
So, all right. What are your other whips?
Okay. So I have one whip that I worked on besides the Zig, and it is Lady of the Flag.
Besides the Zig.
The Zig. That's what I call it.
Oh, this is so pretty. I don't remember. Somebody who mentioned that you were working on this, but I can't remember who it was. I don't know. Oh,
I didn't watch any Flosstube for the past week because I was out of town at the lake.
Between NBA finals, playoffs, not finals, and losing. Arsenal losing, but watching soccer. There's a lot happening in the world of Bravo television right now, which it's like a lot that requires my attention. And then there was something, and then I also had to rewatch this entire other television series. So I have not, I'll tell you about it later.
Okay.
I haven't watched, I watched a lot of Flosstube, but not like the like normal.
I'm gonna watch any.
Yeah. And there was a few days where I was sick. Like I've been sick like every other day since like April 22nd.
I know.
So like I'm like,
thanks for coming up.
I'm like,
no, just kidding.
Every time I come over, you're really risking it. Somehow I've managed to not get you sick while also being sick with 4 different things myself.
No, I was really sick last Monday.
Oh, okay.
I didn't blame you. I just assumed it was stress.
Well, and one of the things that you said, or that your husband said was going around their work, I was like, well, maybe I got that here.
You might have.
But I also could have gotten it from my husband, but he didn't get sick, but people pass things too.
Yeah.
It's been rough. All right. This is beautiful.
Okay, thank you. This is Prehistoric by Forbidden Fiber Co. And I'm using all the DMC called for, and you can see her arm.
That's so exciting.
It is exciting because I thought it'd take forever to see anything.
It's ghosted a little bit because we're in like some evening light, even though we have but up close you can tell it doesn't really ghost.
Yeah.
It's just we're back here. It's like.
Yeah, it's a little ghosty up there.
But it's the light.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's fine. It looks fine in person.
If I haven't shown the pattern yet, it's here.
There's the pattern. This is so much fun to work on. I have a big goal to finish it. Look how big. To finish it by our anniversary, which is in December. And I want it framed, so I want it done by early November. And I'm on track to finish it by, let me tell you. I'm on track to finish by, oops, not that. Don't delete it. Oh God, can you imagine? I've already re-uploaded everything because my iPad wouldn't cooperate with the new Markup
XP, wonderful program. Decided to update like while we were all literally using it and didn't give you the right to not take the update, and it doesn't work on her iPad anymore because she had an old iPad.
I lost all my progress on everything. So, but this one I went in and I redid. So October 12th at this pace. October 12th. If I can stay on that, that's a good pace.
I think you can though, because you are a project stitcher.
That's a good pace.
That would, I couldn't handle it. I could accidentally do it. I couldn't do it on purpose.
I want to do it. I want to work on it. But then I have how many whips? 20 almost? Yeah. Maybe 20? Maybe?
We'll find out in a couple weeks. I looked and you had 13 in December, so it's not that many more than
I had 13 in December? I'm doing great.
Yeah, you had 13 at our last
I'm
whip
doing
parade.
great.
Just decided to rip that stitch right out.
I would kill you. I would kill you on camera.
It's not like it's live.
Well, I'll have to figure out how to edit after that, so I can't kill you. All right, that's the only thing I worked on. How about you?
Okay, so I do have whips. A lot of things you guys have seen recently, but my mirror whips do have it. So well, you saw them in the whip parade, the Mirabilia whip parade. So this is Cinderella by Mirabilia.
I'm definitely doing this.
I love it. Obviously, I have a lot to go, but every time I pull it out, it's really fun. This time, so I only was trying to get 500 stitches more, and I added, filled in more green up here, started the castle. But really, the situation was last time is that I had figured out that I had a counting error down here, and I needed to rectify it but I could only rectify it by starting up here and going down row by row and figuring out where I was. So I found a mistake. I missed a row down here. I found a mistake. Fixed the mistake by just adding extra stitches. So I didn't have to rip out anything, but it just took me a lot of time to really wrap my head around what the mistake was and how to fix it. Yeah. So basically there's one more row of solid green, and there should have been instead one row where they were mixed, but it's fine. You're not gonna be able to.
I doubt you'll be able to.
But it took, so it was 1.5 nights of stitching, but it just took longer because I was just having to count a lot and figure it out. But the actual stitching was very easy. Yeah. I'm excited to be in the castle. So I'm going to do the castle, and then I'm going to do her dress, and then I'm going to do the border, because I think as long as the border looks good around her, I'm not going to be so stressed about if it meets exactly where it's supposed to meet, because you also have these things you can kind of play with, it's not just a straight line. Yeah. Because right now I'm as far down as there are stuff to count off of, and then there's no more counting down here. Now I can also just, sometime if I just need, okay, so right now, with the way my kids are, I could do fill-in projects, right? I could treat this like a fill-in and just count, do the half stitches and mark every 10th as a full stitch and use it to count that way, but I'm not great at counting like that. But I could do that if I really wanted to make progress. Maybe I should have this as an option for fill-in.
I mean, don't push it if you don't.
I just need to
you have enough. You don't.
When the month is over and I'm excited to go on to the next thing.
I'm sorry.
I maybe could keep this out and work on the border. Yeah. As a fill-in project, because I just need things to take a little bit less brain power in order to because what I find is I only have so much time that's for really good complicated stitching or hard light stitching or whatever. So this mindless fill-in and basic counting things, I really need to do those when I shouldn't be taking up prime stitching time to count a line. Mm-hmm. But I also need to make sure that I'm not messing it up.
I had several people in Zoom say, even you can mess up a straight line in a Zoom.
Yeah, fill in. And for July, my fill-in projects are going to be the coats on the Prairie Schooler Santas on my kids' stockings. Yeah. So that will be good. But I could pull this out. I could work on that border slowly over the year and get it done during time where I wouldn't really be working on anything else. Yeah. So that lives in I did 500 stitches. That lives in my Cinderella bag by Jen from Jasmine's Custom Bag that she allowed me to special order the fabric for our birthday. Oh, and I started this for Allison's Princess Birthday Stitch Along, the hashtag Princess Birthday SAL, which was last January. But we are just going to do that same one for her birthday again this year. And last video I talked about my birthday SAL for July is just going to be any Liz Mathews, hello from Liz Mathews, New Start or WIP. And my birthday is July 16th, and you can do it just that day or you can do it any day in July. So I think those will just be easy things we can do every year.
I love it. It's so cute.
So,
Hello 40.
And maybe next year I'll change it to the Hello 40s. All right, and then this is my last Mirabilia WIP that I worked on this week. This is Lady Mirabilia. And I had this purple done, the purple in the middle, and all I did this time was add the gray and the whites on the outside. And I'm gonna say something crazy, because you guys saw what this pattern looks like. Oh, I'm doing the Cinderella on the call for, which is Smoky Pearl by Zweigart, I think. Half yard. Yeah. This is Luna Moth by This Is To Me. This is 28 count linen. Okay, so you guys saw the pattern. To me, this is a purple pattern. This pattern reads lots of purples.
Yeah.
And it does have lots of purples. But it's a white dress. And to me, like, it did not process to me why I was stitching so much white in ecru. And I kept looking at the picture, seeing a white dress with shades of gray and ecru.
Yeah.
And not processing that that meant I was going to be pulling out white floss.
Yeah.
Like, it just didn't occur to me I'd be doing a ton of white stitching. And I'm really glad I chose a colorful fabric because the called for is like a very tan basic beige, and I think if I was stitching lots of white on beige I wouldn't be loving it. We'll see.
It'd be harder.
And I'm gonna do Stargazer on a more basic fabric. I'm gonna do it on Vintage Country Mocha. So, but I think she has more color in her dress. I think her dress is kind of purples and grays, but I should check the floss before I double commit to. Although that fabric is really, it's like you either do a very basic fabric on that so that you picture the sky, or you need one that kind of imitates the sky, and I don't want to do it on
dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Anyway, I love Lady Mirabilia. This was really fun. These 500 stitches flew by. I've only stitched on her for 4 total days. The day I started, a couple birthday SALs, and then the day that I pulled her out for Mirabilia May. I feel like I'm making a lot of progress for only having pulled her out a few times. Like,
sure.
And if I keep just pulling her out a few times, by the time it's her turn to be like the main focus, she'll have like pretty good progress. Now she does have, so it's not, the dress is like a lot, but then she has this whole awning thing that goes around her, but it's not like a very stitch heavy one. It's more, I think it's like 1 or 2 stitches make most of it.
So do you currently have a focus mirror?
A fairy flora
is your focus mirror. Okay.
But my second focus is Cinderella because I would like to get that into my daughter's room. She's 1.5. I'd like to get it in her room by the time she's like 4 or 5, so she could have it and enjoy it during the time where she likes that kind of stuff. And then if she decides she doesn't like that kind of stuff later, she'll have gotten a lot out of it. And if she loves it forever, great. If she, turns 13 and doesn't want to be a princess, and wants me to hold on to it, great. And when she's 40, she might appreciate it. Like, I can but I would like to not give it to her. I feel like a lot of times you hear about people starting projects for their kids, and like Yellow Submarine, it's like, in order for me to have gotten that done during the time when he still would have cared about it, I would have had to stitch it in 2 days, and that wasn't going to happen. I am a little shocked that it was only February to June, and we'd already forgotten about it, but that's fine.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. But like, you hear a lot about people starting projects, but it's like, if you do the math, it would stress me out to be doing something that they might not care about by the time it's done when it's that big. So I do want to get Cinderella done by like 2026. Yeah. December 2026 would be good. Yeah. And then Cathedral was got us, I feel like I got so much progress on that. She's a lot of beads, but she doesn't have that many stitches. Like the half that I'm looking at only has like 7,000. So she might have less than 20,000 stitches. So that might be another good candidate for making it like a focus, or doing extra on her because you feel like you're getting so much done every time.
Yeah.
All right, Lady Mirabilia lives in this Carrie Sews For You blue scissor bag.
I know. Frankie's over here sitting on all my whips. Here.
All right, so my last 2 you guys have seen a lot recently. This is the Herbalist SAL. This is by World on a String by Dara, and I'm just like, I really am just trying to keep up with the Monday releases because they're so cute. And so over the last 2 weeks, I added these 3 because I did go ahead and stitch the release that came out this morning, which was chamomile, because we're recording a day late. So next time I'll only have 1. But so I did these 3, and then when my kids are being chill and I can do the back stitch. So I went ahead and kept going on the back stitch. Yeah. However, that is not as fun to do as fill-in stitching because there's something to mark off, and so you don't get to be like, oh, I got, it's like I got 3 extra boxes back stitch this week. That's great. Because they take a long time each, but it's not like I got like, I can't say like, and that was X amount of stitches. But I think this chamomile is so cute. I love the plant ones. Yeah. So far we've had 3 plants.
I think that's really, it's a cute piece.
It's really cute.
Yeah, it's really cute.
And I'm not like an herb person. I'm a lavender essential oil person, but I'm not like a super, but I'm also learning a lot because there's learnings that come out about like what things are used for and stuff. So, but She said the center is going to be a secret mystery, so we don't know what it's going to be, but it's the last release. So
it's just the one.
Every Monday comes out, and then the last release is this one. But I'm thinking over the next couple weeks, I probably will get all the backstitch done at some point because I'm just going to keep going on it as my fill-in project till I get to the point in another pattern where fill-in makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna, this is gonna be the only style that you guys will see I keep up with. I think part of it is because of these like little 76 stitches plus backstitch releases that she's doing are so like easy. It's like, you know.
Yeah.
Jen from Jen's Fiber Web is also stitching this and just started, and she's like almost caught up. It's crazy. She's a very fast stitcher. This lives in this Amazon bag. Now I've been trying to avoid getting it organized. I think that I might need to take a couple days in June when I'm done with my booklet and organize all of these bags that I've been trying to, because you know, organizing flosses on the Flosstubes takes, or bobbins or anything, takes time, and that is prime stitching time right now. But I do think it's just kind of and I'm using this 12-inch princess hoop. But yeah,
I have one project that's not bobbin.
I don't love having projects without like their flosses where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because also then the next time you pick it up, you're like, ah.
Mm-hmm.
But this time it's like I don't want to spend, especially with like Mirabilia and stuff. That's like, and the models I'm doing, like I bought $100 worth of DMC. Do you know how many?
That's a lot of DMC.
Lifetimes it would take me to floss drop $100 worth of DMC because it was for 7 patterns, 3 Mirabilias, 3 of my own models, which I have a lot. Now a lot of them overlapped and I didn't have time to see what flosses overlapped on them. So on my model. So when I get done with all the models, I might have a big pile to take back. But that's another reason I don't want to floss drop all those as individual projects.
Yeah.
But anyway. All right, last one. So that one got about 300. This one got about 200. So this is Strawberry Fields Forever. And all I did on this one was I filled, like this was my fill-in project, was I just filled in the bricks down here. But it's nice to be making progress.
Yeah.
And when I get to the other side, I'll do that as fill-in.
Nope.
But this is on...
so tiny and cute.
Oh, the Herbalist is on Willow with 28 count by Stitchy May. Doing it on 28 count. If I'd done Garden Zig on 28 count instead of 40 count, I probably would have gotten a lot faster too. Because I just stitch much slower. I love how it looks, but I'm really glad I did the Herbalist SAL on. Very easy to see. Even when children are literally trying to climb in your lap while you're trying to finish your stitching. You're like, oh, let me just finish this stitch. This is 32 count vintage porcelain by Lakeside Linen. It's like the lightest cold pink.
It's so pretty.
Cool pink, not cold.
It's like a baby pink.
It's a baby pink, but on the cool side, and I love it.
Yeah.
And that lives in, I'm going to pull that out for Marjorie Maid's, Possessive, her Strawberry Moon Sal in June. And then I'm also, this is for our Fab 4 Fan Sal, which Julia stitches, same Sal that, I know we talked about this last time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a Tide pen.
Well, I think where it is, we'll probably get stitched over.
Well, let's just try and get it out.
I don't know. I think it's a...
That scares you more?
I think I ironed it. I think my husband's iron... I need to get a dry iron that never has water in it because I don't use the seam, but my husband's iron still sometimes leaves marks. But on the back side of like some darker fabrics, you don't see it. But I think that's from my husband's iron.
Oh yeah, get an iron.
So I'm thinking I'm just going to get a cheap iron that never is allowed to have water in it.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to get stitched over. So there's like a tiny little...
It's a small discoloration.
Stain right here. But I think it will get stitched over, or it will be in the berries where you will not be able to tell.
Let's try the Tide pen.
I'm more worried that would make it a bigger mess than just cut, because I think it's going to get covered over with red floss.
Okay.
So I'm not super stressed about it like
what if it doesn't? What if it's just next to it and
then
you've already stitched?
That's not going to be a problem. I mean, also I'll know, like, is this going to be in like a totally open area or am I stitching over it?
Yeah.
But it lives in the strawberry bag from Carrie Coast. Kathy's Posies. I just conflated Carrie Sews for you and Kathy's Posies into one word.
Nice.
All right, so those are my whips. Yay! All right. So, what are your plans that are different than what we already talked about?
Okay, so I do have more plans. So in June, I bought the Modern Folk Embroideries Fruits of Plenty pattern, which I wanted.
Do you remember on the process versus project stitcher when I was like, I think you totally could do it.
Yeah.
Well, she was like, okay, I guess I'll just buy it.
I'm doing it. And I haven't picked my colors out, the exact colors out, but I know what I'm gonna have it match my living room. So I'm gonna do it in, I think I'm gonna dye my own fabric. So that's part of my plan. So I'm gonna practice dyeing fabric so I can get like a reddish orange fabric. And then I wanna do it in like an ecru and a blue.
That will look good.
I think it'll look amazing. It's gonna be so much fun. So me and Fanny, who is the Soul Stitchers on Flosstube, but she's also Cross Stitch Couture on Instagram. She's gonna do it with me. Well, we're gonna start at the same time, but we're just gonna join the Modern Folk Embroidery Jacobs Still Fresh Fruit SAL because we couldn't come up with a better SAL than that. That's perfect. So we're gonna join that SAL and we're gonna do it in June.
I'm really excited.
I'm excited. And then of course my other plans are finish all of the things that we've already talked about.
Finish all of your other projects.
Yeah, finish everything. Check. All right, what are your plans?
Okay, so I'm gonna start. The only start I have planned for the rest of the month is Stargazer, which will be my third Mirabilia. Planned start. I'm gonna start on Tuesday. Kat from Whittier Stitches is starting on Tuesday. Jordan from Needle House is starting it too, but I don't know if she's actually started on Tuesday or when she started it, or if she's starting it this month. But we all talked about starting it together. Well, they were already gonna start, and I was like, I will start it too.
It is a good pattern. I love it.
It's so good, and I know it's popular, but I feel like I'm stitching a good mix of like very popular and like lesser popular Mirabilias, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Because like next time I'll have that, and then I'll also be working I need to do 500 stitches in Fairy Flora, and I need to do 500 stitches in Elizabeth in the Lavender Sky, and I don't know, no one else is stitching that one.
Yeah.
Like, I did see someone buy it on eBay for $8.
Oh, okay.
Plus shipping, so like it went for the price of like a normal.
Potentially some of these.
Yeah, if you bought Elizabeth in
If
the
it was
Lavender
you.
Sky and you want to start it,
Not that it's not a good pattern. It's just a very dated pattern.
and it's very specific and
Yeah.
like I know other people have stitched it because in the Mirabilia conversions group somebody made a blue conversion of it.
Ooh.
And I've seen other people's stitched versions of it, but I don't, and I like the blue, but I'm gonna do the called for.
Yeah.
But I don't know of anyone currently working on it. And I don't know if you could qualify me as currently working on it when I worked on it for a couple days.
Yeah.
I think I'm also going to restart it on the gridded Ada because I'm turning it into full coverage. And I think 16 count gridded Ada might be more fun than the 14 count I started it on. And I only have like 100 stitches in it. So there's no point in not restarting it.
Yeah. I prefer gridded. I used to hand grid all of my projects.
And the thing is, since I'm turning it into full coverage, why not take advantage of what that means? Not just like traveling and everything on the back, but also like go ahead and getting the grid and stuff. So, because I'm liking that. Okay, so I have those Mirabilias. We'll finish out my Mirabilia May. If I finish all those, 500 stitches on each of those, then I will have touched every whip and done my 3 starts, and Mirabilia May will be a success. All right, then I'm going to, not then, these are all running simultaneously. I'm also going to finish the models and put together the booklet and also like figure out how to, I know Amazon, like I'm going to sell the booklet, the PDF on my website. No.
Etsy.
We don't have our website set up yet. On Etsy. I think I'm going to try to do paper copies through Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing, but I don't know the ins and outs of all of that yet. So that, I don't know if that's going to work. So in 2 weeks, there should be a PDF version for you to buy and my goal is to have a PDF booklet and also like a folder of zip files. So if you only want to upload one of the patterns into markup, it's easy. Yeah. But that's all like technology and I have to make sure I can do all of that. So I'm going to be working on that a lot over the next 2 weeks, plus finishing the models.
You can do it.
And that's my like #1 priority. So like Mirabilia May, I'm really hoping to get done and I think I'll be able to get done. And then everything else I probably won't touch. Like I probably will get behind on everything, even the stuff I've managed to stay up to till now, everything else will get behind. Yeah. But I will be at least showing Garden of Zig, which will be fun. So on our next Flosstube, all the secrets will be revealed. All right, Flosstube University, did you have anything?
No, I didn't watch any Flosstube at all.
Okay, so this is actually, well, the Hathaway sisters talked about it in their Flosstube, and I think a lot of people, especially in our like side of Instagram, know about this, but Salix Stitches and Cozy Town Stitches, who is Erin from the Hathaway Stitchers, and Boomerang Stitches, which is Amity from the Hathaway Stitchers, created an account called the _Salander. So like stitch along calendar, Salander, very cute.
It's so cute.
And for us, this is cool because I can say like, hey, I'm doing a birthday start along, here are the details, and then I can save that to my information too. So like, it's great for me, but then also for you, go follow that account. And then if you see like somebody's hosting a stitch along of a pattern you've never seen before, you really, or something you always want to do or whatever, help you connect to people. Because the number one way we have made friends in the cross stitch world is starting stuff together. Mm-hmm. And then some of those starts become people you talk to all the time.
Yeah.
There are other people we're friends with that we have never started stuff with, but like, if I look at like most of the people I talk to on a regular basis, we have some kind of stitch along happening or secret project or something where we're like stitching is tying together. And so like if you're joining a stitch along is a great way. Yeah. And a lot of those stitch alongs are really start alongs and no one's going to be like, you have to do it by a specific time. But also they have all the details of like, is it a specific pattern? Is it any pattern by that designer? Is it a specific designer or is it a theme? When does it start? Does it have an end date? Like who's hosting it? And all that stuff is really helpful because like sometimes you'll see a Flosstuber say like, we're doing a SAL and you're like, is that just them and their friends? Would it be weird if I said like, yeah, I'm doing it? Or is this something they actually want people to get in on and they would be really excited to have me? Right? Yeah. Like, or I'm already working on that WIP. I didn't know there was a SAL. I'm going to start tagging it as the part of the SAL because also people who run stitch alongs love when multiple people participate. Yeah. It's kind of, we do Liz Mathews Mondays and that is our stitch along that no one else has ever done. Nope. But we're two people. So it's, okay. It's like, that is for us. And if you're doing it, great, tag us. But like we made the joke when we started it, like, because we started it when nobody was watching us. That like, okay, so this is just for us, and it's totally fine if nobody else ever joins us. Yeah. But if you're a solo Flosstuber trying to do a stitch along, it's really cool if other people who want to do it actually do it. Yeah. So it's helpful to know, does that person want me to do it? Yeah. So, so I would definitely say if you're on Instagram, and I know some of you guys aren't. I've had people that message us other ways who are like, I'm not on social media. Totally fine. But if you are on social media and you're on Instagram, our Instagram handles are here. You can follow us. And then you should also follow the _Salander for SALs. And then Chinook Crafter was like, hey, how many are you hosting? And I was like, I don't want to talk about it. Because the answer is 9. 9? Well, it's 9. 8. They have 8, but they don't have your birthday SAL up because we wouldn't have put it up for like last year. Right. And it's a little early to be like, hey, make it for this year. Right. But really, we're still hosting that on kind of like an ongoing basis too. So that's 9. Now, you're doing 2 of them and I'm doing 7 of them. So I'm not stitching everything and you're not stitching everything. But it's a lot. That's cool. It's fine. That's cool. We like this community. I'm not ashamed of that. Yeah, we really like it. So that's, and I have fun. I did not explain. Flosstube University is the part of our Flosstube where we talk about things we learned on Flosstube, because I learned how to stitch mostly via Flosstube, and Allison has learned all kinds of things about stitching, even though she had already stitched for 6 years before watching Flosstube. Mm-hmm. And then we also are professors at Flosstube University, and our lessons are for beginners, and they come out on Thursdays. And if you're not a beginner, we would love to have you watch those little episodes and give us your feedback and tips as well. Sprinkle your knowledge. Yes. All right. Haul. Did you buy anything? I bought the pattern for Fruits of Plenty. Oh, okay. I have. And then I bought some really cool earrings in Beaver's Bend, Oklahoma. And you should go because it's amazing. Your pictures look so pretty. It was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous. I was telling Mom I think I'm going to go to Hot Springs National Park. Ooh. Because my husband went to London. But and he's been since in the last 2 years, my husband has gone to London and Zimbabwe without me. Well, I will stay at home and watch the kids. Now, he went to see family. So it's like a little bit cheating. It's like he wasn't like, having tea and crumpets with the king. He was like, a family barbecue and stuff. But
But it was on the agenda.
It's my turn to go away without him and the kids. But can I get away with going to Europe for 10 days by myself? Probably not. Because, you know, I work for myself. So I can tell myself, oh yes, you can have the time. But he, like, also can't watch the kids all the time.
I was gonna say, could you leave the kids for that long? I don't see you doing that.
No. But so what I was thinking is, I'm trying to go to every national park. I've been to 21. And I'm like, but I haven't been to Hot Springs, and it's actually the closest one to here. And Hot Springs has a lot of like just soaking in baths and like massages as part of the like. No, I'm going by myself.
No, I want to go.
So Mom was telling me, but she was trying to tell me to go to Broken Bow. Like,
oh my gosh, it was beautiful.
I'm going to, but I think I'm going to go to Broken Bow, but to Hot Springs. That's if I can actually arrange a 6 or 7 day stretch where childcare, like, because he just goes. I have to make sure, you know, like.
Yeah.
Because, so it's complicated. All right, so I got 2 orders from 123 Stitch. The first is, I've talked about it before, but I love Lakeside Linen, but sometimes if you order it on 123 Stitch, they don't actually have it. Like the computers actually run out of it before it's, because so many people are like trying to buy it before it like actually, so sometimes you'll buy it and they'll be like, well, we don't actually have it. So I ordered this 36 count fat 8 of lentil from Lakeside Linen in September.
Oh, okay.
And I got it.
Nice.
Now, when things go back order from 123 Stitch, they don't charge you for what you didn't buy, and when they ship out the stuff, they don't charge you for shipping again.
Okay.
So you actually really are just getting the thing that you bought, charging you for that, but they're not charging you for shipping twice. So there's really no harm. And they email you too. They say like, you bought this, do you still want it? And then you say like yes or no. So and if you want it, you go in and I think you fill out the stuff again. I've had like 7 things put on back order and only 2 of them have actually like shown up. No, 3 of them. Anyway. But so I ordered this in September with like other stuff. So it was funny to get a package that was just this, but I'll take it because it's beautiful.
It is really pretty, yeah.
It's so pretty. I think I was thinking about doing Secret Garden on here, but it's not gonna fit. I would only have like 1.5 inches. And since it's a round pattern, I don't know how much margin you really need for a round, like to do round framing. So I'm like, I probably shouldn't, or at least I should ask. Yeah. And then the other thing is I needed, for the Fab 4 fan style, I'm starting Blackbird on June 11th. So it's part of the sale that's ongoing, but Rachel from Licking Floss and I are both going to start it on June 11th. It's the anniversary of their song's recording, so it was just kind of a nice day to start it. So I got the called for espresso bean from Jiddle Arts. I'm like, I'm not going to order these by themselves. So I put them in my cart, and I just kept hoping that some Lakeside Linen would go up because that was the only thing I could justify like buying that would be like, you can't get it. Like, because everything else would be like, well, you can get this at another time. I don't need to buy this right now. But I didn't want to pay the shipping just for this. And so I was waiting and waiting and waiting, and some bisque went up. 36 count bisque from Lakeside Linen. Fat quarters.
Very nice.
I got 2 because I think I'm going to do Summer Quaker on this one.
I was going to say, didn't you share that last time because you told me you were going to do Summer Quaker?
We weren't recording. I had just like gotten it because Mom gave me my mail. So we already did this where I was like, I'm going to do this.
I was like, I've seen this one.
Yeah, you've seen everything.
Okay.
But I'm going to do Summer Quaker on one, and then I'll have one for stash.
Okay, cool.
But isn't that so, it's like, it's
really pretty.
It's like, I mean, it's called bisque, and it's like if soup was a fabric, but like very light, if your soup had a lot of cream. Yeah. It's so pretty.
Really pretty.
But I'm very excited to have.
I think that's perfect for Summer Quaker.
I think one will be perfect, because I didn't want to do it on pure white, like antique white, but I didn't really want to do it on the call for, because the call for I think is a little bit gray. That's not super my vibe. For like a summer piece, I want it to be really bright. Sure. But that's kind of a good, I think, but yeah, so, you know, just some Lakeside Linen that just felt special. I was so shocked when it actually ships, because it was like, it was the first time I bought it, was like, I knew exactly what I was going to do with it. I wasn't just going to like,
hoard it.
Yeah. Or, well, I stitch on a lot of my Lakeside Linens, but I do sometimes like buy it knowing something will come along that's perfect for it. Yeah. Because I don't have a ton, like most of my neutrals are Lakeside Linens that I have bought from that quarter shop, or not 123 Stitch, when they've randomly had them available, because like a lot of my stitch me's are like bright, colorful stuff. So. Yeah. All right, so that is my haul. giveaway. Okay, so the pattern last week, the giveaway was a pattern from our Etsy shop, which has like my patterns. You can pick any pattern that's there now or in the future, but not the booklet, because the booklet is going to have a lot of patterns, so it's going to be a different price. So but any like individual pattern from my shop, you can go look now or you can wait. And the winner of that is at XCB, and the comment is here.
Congratulations!
So congratulations!
That's awesome.
And then for our giveaway for this week, Donna, who had sent us that September Mirabilia, which I have not mailed out yet. It's going to get mailed out this week, so sorry. I know the person who won it already told me that they won it, but I haven't actually mailed it yet.
I'm going to the post office tomorrow. You want me to?
I mean, yeah, but we can talk about it.
Okay.
All right, so Donna, who is Stitch_X_love on Instagram, sent 3 more patterns to save, and I thought, so 2 of them are collector's hearts, and one of them is this cute Christmas angel from Heart and Hand, and I thought, well, let's do them, but let's kind of spread them out, because these are like cool ones that people really do like. Yeah. So this is cool because this pattern comes with the fabric, so it comes with the pattern, the little booklet, it comes with the fabric, comes with floss and a needle, but I don't know what this, I think it's from the person who bought it. I don't know anything about what this fabric is. I don't know if it came with it or what, but in the thrift store, it came with this fabric and this needle, so you're gonna get them. And it also came with the original buttons that go on the shoes.
Oh, nice.
So it's a tiny little kit, doesn't have everything you need, but it's got a good start for you. So this is Christmas Angel by Heart and Hand. And I thought it'd be great because if you win it on our next Flosstube, I can definitely get it to you by the time for you to stitch it for Christmas in July if you're wanting to. So let's make the word July instead of Christmas because, so July, if you want to stitch it for Christmas, great. If you don't, if you're like, I just would want to stitch up maybe later, great. But use the word July in your comment. Yeah. Please don't use the word giveaway or win. You need to be 18. We'll ship it anywhere. It should be pretty light, so we'll ship it anywhere. But you need to like the channel or subscribe to the channel and like the video and use the word July in your comment, and we'll pick a winner in 2 weeks when we film. Yay. All right, if you made it to this point, do you have anything to add?
No, I need a nap.
If you made it to this point in the video, leave a Christmas tree emoji. If you're planning to get excited about, well, no, to celebrate Christmas in July that's coming, and Mirabilia May, and that cross-stitch calendar is really, the season of Mirabilia is almost over, and we will be at the season of Christmas in July. Leave a Christmas or other winter emoji. If you don't celebrate Christmas, you can leave another winter emoji, but that will just be kind of fun, to be our secret language that you made it to this point in the video. Yeah. I can't believe we really... Yeah, it's gonna be, So.
Oh my gosh, okay.
All right. See you in 2 weeks when all the secrets will be revealed.
Yay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.